Shae Russell from mining.com.au, and joining me today is Frazer Tabeart, the Managing Director for Alma Metals. Frazer, thanks for coming back on. How are you?
I'm well, thanks, Shae. How about yourself?
Good, thank you. Now, the recent quarterly has dropped, and it's time to look at the past 3 months that were. Tell me, can you give us sort of a brief overview of this period, and what was the program's objectives?
The vast majority of the information in the quarterly report was summarising the drilling program that we completed late last year at Briggs Central in Queensland. So, as people will recall, it's a large-scale, low-grade porphyry copper deposit. We drilled 11 holes for just under 3,000 metres in this program. The majority of those holes, so 9 of those 11 holes, were designed to infill the Briggs Central resource. So we were looking to identify zones of higher grades, particularly in the near surface, that might be part of a starter pit. To do that and confirm some of our sort of geological ideas about what might be controlling higher grade. And then we had 2 holes that were drilled outside of that resource, but within our exploration target, and that was testing the southern porphyry target, which is a geochemical target that looks like it's very similar to the Briggs Central zone itself.
What were some of the standout highlights of this recent drilling campaign?
Yeah, the drilling results have been fantastic. So, particularly those that went into the Briggs Central zone. So we've certainly, a number of those holes hit high-grade intersections, significantly higher grades than had been seen before. So one hole in particular, hole 26, hit sort of 240 odd metres at greater than 0.4% copper. So, a very significant hole, best hole drilled on the project to date. And within that, there was a zone close to surface at 1% copper. So it certainly validated a lot of our concepts about what is controlling higher grades, and that will obviously ultimately feed into the drilling program. I guess the other highlight is the southern porphyry, which we're now claiming as a discovery. The drill holes into that have hit the same style of mineralisation pretty much from surface in the southern porphyry target as we're seeing at Briggs Central. So for a first pass of drilling into that, a fantastic result. So we're very pleased with that.
Have these results validated your strategy to grow the size and scale of the resource?
Yeah, certainly. The latter, that we just discussed there. The southern porphyry target, that's going to help grow the scale of the project. The vast majority of the other information was more infill, and that's going to allow us basically to, really start defining, what sort of a mining operation this might look like in the future. And whether or not there is a high grade or higher grade core that we can use for that starter pit that would obviously have a lot more attractive economics than mining at sort of much lower grades over the life of the project.
What's next for the Briggs project with the conclusion of drilling?
Yeah, well, we've now got all of our assay results in, so those are going to feed into a resource update. So that's something we're currently working on. We hope to get that published within the next 4 to 6 weeks. And we've also, as part of our ongoing metallurgical test work program, there's obviously more material here that can be feeding into that program. So, we've got that met work is currently underway, and I'm hoping we'll be able to put out some preliminary results from that in the next 2 to 3 weeks as well.
How do these findings impact Alma's plans for 2025?
Well, the key thing now is we've got all the information that we need, or we're in the process of putting together all the information we need to, go into our scoping study. So, the resource update, that'll give us the block model that will be used for that. The MET program is obviously important because that gives us some ideas on flotation recoveries and also on grind sizes and how much energy that grinding is going to require. So those are sort of key inputs into a mining study. So we'll be feeding that all in the second quarter of the year. And that will go into that scoping study, which we hope to, sort of complete late in the first half of the year. And that'll really then lay out the groundwork for, what does this project look like in terms of scale, initial sort of, throughput rates. And that'll then sort of determine what do we next need to do to increase resource confidence and or grow the resource. And that'll be the focus for the second half of the year.
It's great to see the progress happening for the Briggs project. Thank you so much for being here today.
My pleasure. Thank you.